Today we're going to make some really nice soy, garlic and honey chicken wings. It's sticky, it's hot, it's meh. And I'm not talking about the wings, I'm talking about the weather. As we know by now, I don't do well in the heat at all. When will it stop? Need rain, cold, snow. Stop bloody moaning. I flipping moan when it's cold, I moan when it's hot. We all do, don't we? But today we are going to make chicken wings because I love a flipping chicken wing and I think probably most of you do too, unless you're vegetarian or vegan. They're going to be super sticky, they're going to be crispy and they're going to be baked in the oven as well, so they'll be somewhat healthy. But despite being healthy, it's not going to scrimp on flavour. Plus, cheap as chips, because your old chicken wings are still relatively cheap. I think they were like £2.65. You can get them cheaper, like from Lidl's, Aldi's. Of course, I went Co-op, didn't I? Which are expensive. It's the only option I've got around here at the minute. But come on, enough of me talking, let's get on with it. Quick little rundown of what we got then. Got some chicken wings, obviously. Need about 1 kilo, which most supermarkets sell a pack of 1 kilo or 1.5 kilos. Got your boy MSG or flavouring salt, disco salt, whatever you want to call it. It's good stuff. I'm using some hot sauce as well. I'm using 2 different sorts. Got some extra garlic. And I've got some yuzu. Yuzu's got like a citrusy vibe to it. Use any hot sauce you like. Use 1, use 2, use 3, use 4. Freaking how many of you want really. Or leave it out. I've got some paprika. I'd use smoked, but I haven't got any, so I'm going to have to make do with that. Honey, dark soy, and some garlic. You might be wondering why on earth I've got some pickled jalapenos and pickled onions here. Because you need some acid in the sauce at the end. If you've got some vinegar, use that instead. But I haven't got any in, so I've had to kind of improvise. So I've got some pickled jalapenos, I might use the juice of that. What I'm probably going to use is the vinegar from these pickled onions, which will be absolutely demonstrably fine. But I'm just illustrating the fact that you can improvise, you can make do with what you've got. You don't have to go out and buy a bottle of vinegar just for the sake of this. You've got these lying in the fridge, or like, you know, some gherkins or something like that. Use a bit of the brine from that. It's going to do the same thing. So I need 1 kilo of wings. If you're buying a kilo packet, you don't need to do this step. But I've got like 1 and a bit pack, so I think one of these packs isn't actually 1 kilo. Yeah, it's like 770 grams. Bit mean, Co-op. So, going with these first. You can smell the wings, can't you, bud? Got a fucking nose for chicken, ain't you? Come on. Bit more. 1 more. Ooh. Slightly over. That'll do. Fuck it, you know, there's 2 left. Might as well go with all of them. I mean, you're like properly in the way there, bud. You couldn't be any more in the way. But I guess it's your house too, so you can go where you like, really, can't you? You snooze. Right, wings onto the chopping board. So we need to prep these. You can in some place buy these already prepared. If you found some already prepared ones, you can skip this step. You can also leave them whole. You can leave the drumette and the flat together. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to separate these down into flats and drumette, so I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing we need to do is take the wing tip off. That joint there. You need to take that off because that's just going to burn. Just run your finger, find where the joint is, take a sharp knife and just go through it. Wing tip off. Oh, excuse me. And then basically do the same thing with the other part of the wing. So you've got your flat part here and then you've got your drumette. We need to separate the 2. Again, just finding where that joint is. Okay, just feel it with your finger. So just here, take your sharp knife, whoop, go straight through. And then you have the 2 parts of the wing. Got the flat, you got the drumette. Easy. Wing tips, keep them as well, don't throw them away. Put them in a freezer bag, and when you come to make like a nice gravy for your roast chicken, roast those off with some veggies. I tell you, you're going to make like the most amazing gravy. Don't throw them away. So once all your chicken wings are prepped, look at those suckers. But we do need to season these up, so I'm going to get some peppercorns in my mortar and pestle. I'm going to grind these up. You can use like an ordinary pepper mill if you want. You don't have to be this extra. So into that then, I'm going to go with a couple of teaspoons of black pepper. Fucking all of it. A couple of teaspoons of salt. You don't want too much salt really because there's going to be saltiness from the soy sauce in the glaze. Half a teaspoon of your MSG. Again, it's optional. But we love our disco salts on this channel. Get in there. And a couple of tablespoons of smoked paprika. Hot sauce as well. Use the hot sauce of your choice. These are fairly mild. They're not like too spicy, so I can be quite generous, but if you're using like a really strong one, be careful. A tablespoon of the extra garlic and about a tablespoon, oh, it helps if you open it, and about a tablespoon of the yuzu. It's got a really nice citrus vibe, this. Yowzers. Woohoo! And just a smidge, just a little smidge of oil. That's just going to help kind of bind everything together. It's not really going to do much else. And then there's not much else to do other than get your hands in there and mix it all up. Get every single wing evenly coated. You don't want any dry spots. And when your wings look like something Ed Gein had made, they're ready to go in the fridge. You want to stick them in the fridge for at least an hour, just so the flavours can permeate into the chicken, really get in there. But they'll be much better if they're left overnight. So do this the night before, ready for tea the next day. You're going to be happy. And I think what we should do now, as the wings are marinating in the fridge, we can get on and make the soy, garlic and honey glaze. Let's do that. Which is going to start with garlic. Now I love this stuff, so I'm going to use 3 cloves. 3 big, fat, juicy, thick boys like that. That's what you want. And then I'm just going to finely slice these up. You can put this through a microplane if you want, but just chop it enough so it's nice and small, because you don't want to bite into like massive chunks of garlic when you're eating your wings. So with my pan here then, I'm going to get that onto a fairly lowish heat, probably like a 3 or a 4 on an electric hob. Gas, you want medium low. And to that I'm just going to add a little touch of oil. It can be any neutral oil like veg or sunflower. And then get that garlic straight in. And hopefully you can see it's just starting to sizzle, because we want to take out some of that rawness out of the garlic, that edge, that bitterness. Go for like 30 seconds, it's going to be fine. But as I've said plenty of times, be careful not to burn it. You burn the garlic, it's over. It's game over, you're going to have to start again. Next we're going to go in with the soy, dark soy for this. Same with honey, and 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. And when I mentioned earlier, look, I've got no vinegar, and I kind of used my initiative and added some pickled onion brine, just a little splash, like a teaspoon. Because you've got saltiness, you've got sweetness, and you've got that sourness from the vinegar. It's all going to work in harmony together. And then bring that to a simmer, and it should start to thicken and go glossy and lovely. There you go, look, once it starts doing that, you're pretty much there. See how lovely and viscous it's going. And once it's at that stage, you can kind of shut it off really. So let's turn you off. And that will kind of sit on the back, let that cool down a bit. And when the wings are ready, we'll just warm that through again and then toss it through. Right, let's get these wings out the fridge. I think they're ready to go. Right, so I've got my tray here with a wire rack in the middle. I've got like some foil underneath just to catch any oil and sort of marinade and stuff like that, so it doesn't burn on the bottom and it's easier to clean. So all I'm going to do is just take my wings and lay them on the rack. How good do they look? See, once they're all kind of laid out like that, they are ready to go into the oven. And I'd say bake those for about 25 to 35 minutes. Depends on the size of the wing, but I reckon about 25-30 minutes they'll be spot on. You want them nice and crispy on the outside, nice and bubbling, and well, cooked through, but still juicy. You want them still juicy. Because nobody likes a flipping dry ass wing. Actually, I don't mind them, to be fair. I don't mind them at all. I'll eat wings off a fucking bin lid. I don't care, I love them that much. Eventually. Right, I think these suckers are done. Let's get them out of the oven. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Stunning. And all that's left for me to do now is just to gently warm through our glaze, which I'm also going to give a little bit of a taste. See where we're at. Oh, that's got some punch. Could do with a little bit more acidity though, so I'm going to add a splash more vinegar. But that's what cooking's all about, isn't it? Tailoring things to your taste. If you want it a bit sweeter, add a bit more honey. If you want more soy, add some more soy. If you want a bit more acidity, add some more flipping acid. It's really not that complicated. I'm just going to get the wings into a suitable bowl, suitable vessel, and then pour over your sauce. Now you might not think there's enough there, It's a very strong sauce for a start. You only want like a light coating, but there will be enough, trust me. Let's give them a shifty. Actually, it's probably easier to get like a pair of tongs or something, unless you want soy sauce and honey splattered all over your kitchen. And just get yourself a big old plate and serve those suckers up. Look at those. If that isn't the most gorgeous plate of wings you've ever seen in your life and you want to dive your face straight in, well, I don't know what to tell you. Now let me know in the comments below, are you a drumette kind of person or a flats kind of person? Me personally, I'm a flats person, so I'm going to smash one of these in my face. Well, I like them all, to be fair. I'm going to eat that whole plate probably, but here we go. Clean that bone. It's a must. I know. This is very uncouth, Adam. But those were delicious. Really, really nice. But have a go at making them yourself. They're salty, they're sweet, packed full of flavour, got all the garlic in there, got the paprika, got the salt, got the pepper. They're just a very tasty wing. Obviously, they're not going to be as crispy as if you deep fried them, but we're trying to balance flavour with healthiness. Listen, I'm going to shoot off because Moggs is like down here. He's just as flipping hot as I am, ain't you, mate? So if you enjoyed this, do the usual thing, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below as well. But listen, I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Come, mate. I need a drink.